Eriador is diminished. The time of the Eldar is fading, and the deeds of the men of the West are preserved only in their ruins. The shadow of a fear of ages past threatens all the free peoples of Middle-earth. And yet, hope remains. For in the hearts of unlikely folk is the strength to wander through shadow kept. And only thence can they come to the morning. And though the road is long and treacherous and full of peril, it is a road that these companions must travel. And only through strength of loyalty, friendship, and hope can they overcome the obstacles ahead. May the goodwill of elves, men, and all free folk go with them.
The company has made its way back to Tharbad and sought counsel with the venerable Captain Gurnau. Whilst there, it was found that the Ranger Gwyleth had left a message for Orothel regarding a strange man that had come to town and rode against the river Horwell with a heavy sack. Now, all that's left is to make the exchange and secure a safe passage for Borlas back to his home.
So when last we left off, you all had your first council, and it happened to be with Captain Gurnau of Tharbad, negotiating the release of a prisoner by the name of Borlas in exchange for some funds to compensate for potentially the expense of keeping him prisoner, as well as replacing the money which John had stolen from Gurnau. In exchange, also, you had agreed to bring John back so long as you were able to see that Borlas was in good condition. Later on that evening, Aranel snuck around the south side of Tharbad, the south bank of the river, with the help of Jan the Frog, and found a curious letter hidden by Orothel's daughter, describing something seemingly unrelated, but which may come to be of use in the future. So, with that, you all awaken at the Bridge Inn on the northern bank. You can hear few people have already gotten up and have begun moving around. You can begin to smell the scent of breakfast being made downstairs. Timothy Titus, as he takes so much pride in, is beginning to fry some meats and such. What would you all like to do?
Probably get breakfast and wait, because we were supposed to be summoned.
And see what happened with Aranel. Because I don't think she woke us up and told us. Probably
well, you guys were still partying when she snuck back in.
Was it that fast?
Did we talk before we went to bed, though?
Technically,
I have no idea.
no.
I don't think so.
Okay, I didn't think we did. Okay.
Technically, no.
Because you snuck back in. You were very sneaky.
Yeah,
exactly.
I was sneaky.
Yeah, if you wanted to say that you talked the night before about what Aranel had found, that's fine.
Yeah, I probably would have shown them the letter.
Okay, great. So then, yeah, we will be waiting. What do we?
Okay.
What is our plan changed at all though? While we're eating, if we're waiting to eat breakfast.
Probably not. I mean, just make sure Aranel keeps the letter hidden.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And just as a reminder, I'll show you guys the letter once more.
I posted it in our Discord chat.
Oh, very good. Very good. All right. So without reading the whole thing again, it describes a man named Daor, who had arrived in Tharbad from the Southlands, claiming to be from Rohan, with a very heavy bag. He had met with Gurnau and then made his way over to Swanfleet, came back, and made his way up north with a dwarf named Flonar and his companions. And at that, you see a couple of Tharbad's soldiers walk in, headed by a man probably in his early to mid 40s. You see he's got long, beginning to gray hair, which is kind of tied back. A few strands of it hang loosely around his shoulders, and you can see the beginnings of a beard, but it's not too terribly long. He introduces himself and comes over to your all's table and says, "Tharnau, son of Gurnau, I've been sent to summon you. Apparently you're meant to see Borlas today."
Yes, that's correct. Thank you.
Says, "Come along." And with that, he turns and he's got a retinue of soldiers with him. You can tell that it looks like, spared no expense, they want to make sure that you all are guarded.
Okay.
But you make your way through the streets of Tharbad. And as you pass through, you can see you come upon Garth Tauron. You pass along the western side, making your way around a large wall which has been erected, and you can see it looks like there is a bridge which spans a moat that goes around the fort, and you can actually see that there are people hanging from ropes from this bridge. You can see that there are a few skulls still situated on pikes atop the bridge. And as you make your way around, you come to another building. Not the main fort, as it were, but you can tell that this keep is of newer make. Not much newer. You can tell that the area is still in a bit of disrepair. The old slate roof is beginning to miss tiles. Some of the foundation is cracked and the stones have begun to fall away. But you can definitely tell that this is of a bit of a newer construction. And you can make your way in. Tharnau opens the door for you and gestures for you to move forward.
Head on in.
All right, and inside, you can see this looks to be mostly used for patrols and kind of a smaller jail. You can see as you make your way back, there are a few jail cells that line either side of the hallway. But before you are able to make your way back, a man comes up to you, and you look at him, and he looks to be probably about 50 or so.
Okay.
You can tell that he wears extravagant gowns. And he carries with him a jeweled scepter, which he holds in one of his hands, and he stamps it on the ground and introduces himself, and he says, "Valandur at your service." And he gives a wild wave of his hand and bows very deeply. "Master of Garth Tauron and keeper of the Fortress of the Crossing."
John.
Does that jeweled scepter look like something that was, recently made, or does it look like an old treasure of some sort?
You can give me a lore roll if you'd like.
Sure. Started off with a success, right? Success. Get a success. Oh, so close, but not.
Aw.
2s and 1s again.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to say. You can tell that it definitely looks old, but you don't really know much about it. It's very ornate and very... It looks like it's very regal, and whoever possesses it is probably someone of station.
Okay.
Does
So
it look
it's
like
probably
it's
real.
real jewelry?
Does it look real? Yeah, it definitely looks real.
Okay.
And he looks at you and he says, I understand that you are looking to meet with Mr. Borlas, a prisoner that we've kept here in the fort.
That is correct. We should have Gurnow's permission to check on his condition.
Of course. I've heard from the captain just this morning. Please, right this way. And he swings his scepter off in the direction of the hallway and issues you forth. And as you move down, you can see that there are a couple of people in some of these cells. Some of them look to be passed out. You would guess that a few of them are drunkards and probably passed out from the night before.
Okay.
However, you see one man. He is kind of crumpled up in the back of one of the cells. Valandor takes his scepter and bangs it up against the jail cell. Borlas, you've company. And you can see this is what the gentleman looks like. Haggard. His hair is grown out, his beard unkempt. It seems as though he has been in his jail cell for quite the long time. His clothes are worn and frayed, almost nothing left in certain places. You can see his skin poking through holes in some of the areas on his clothing. He looks up at you with sorrowful eyes and says nothing.
Do we remember how long he's been here? It's been weeks, right, or months?
Months. I think.
Month, I think.
Yes, because you had heard reports the first time that you came through Tharbad of them throwing him in a jail cell.
Yes.
So it would have been probably 8 months at this
8
point.
months at this point, yeah. I think.
6 or 8 months.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Are you Borlas?
Borlas is my name. Yes.
We've been sent here by Mr. Prithywendel of Bree to check on your condition, and we have a prisoner we're going to swap for you. You'll be free soon enough, we promise.
With that, you see he starts up and grabs a hold of one of the bars on the jail cell and tries to stand himself up, stumbles for just a second, and eventually is able to make himself up and creeps forward. He says, "Really?
Yes.
You're gonna get me out of here?"
Yes, we are.
Oh.
We just wanted to make sure that you were, well, in decent condition before we agreed to any terms.
My gratitude knows no bounds. When can I leave?
Within a few days, the wardens from Bree have the prisoner a few days out. We went ahead of them.
And you can see he saddens just a little bit again, knowing that he's going to have to go back into his normal cell.
I apologize, but we had to be sure. It's a rather dangerous prisoner. We didn't want him running loose, unprotected.
I should just be grateful that I'm going to get out of here in the first place. My gratitude knows no bounds, truly.
Yes, you just need to hang tight for a few days, and we will have you safe. I promise.
And he nods, and Valandor steps up, and he says, "Not before you make me those boots you promised." And Borlas kind of shakes his head and doesn't look at Valandor right in the eyes.
Perhaps he can send them from Bree.
Yes.
A man's been away from home for long enough, I think.
A craftsman needs his tools and his supplies to do his best work, after all.
But of course, and we've got plenty of tools here. But if that is the wishes of Captain Gurnow, so be it.
Oh no, so be it.
Returns.
Larry just has a 1,000-yard stare.
And with that, Valandor stamps his scepter on the ground once more, and he says, "Well, now that you've caught a glimpse of Borlas.
Could I make a medicine roll to see like his real condition? Let's say.
I was just thinking of asking that. Would you like the
Or
expert
healing.
medicine healing guy to do that?
Yes, I'll assist you.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an assessment via healing.
Probably assist you by, I don't know, probably how illuminated is this place?
There's enough light to where you feel like you could probably get a good idea of what's going on with him.
Okay. Yes.
Extraordinary.
Shoo!
Beautiful.
Miragar knows this guy's entire like genome. He's gonna be like, yes, in 20 years you'll have diabetes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can tell
He's lost.
His blood pressure's a little high. No,
Do you eat a lot of fish pies?
Oh no.
Probably cut down on that. It's a lot of sodium.
You can tell, based on looking at him, you can tell that he is underfed. He looks probably like he's dehydrated. The soles of his feet are not torn to smithereens, but very, very heavily calloused, as if he hasn't had a good pair of shoes in quite some time and has been forced to walk on stone. And you can tell that he looks to be, his teeth seem to be worse for wear.
But he's not in any immediate risk of dying in the next few days, right?
To your estimation, it seems like they're doing the bare minimum to keep him alive.
Okay.
But alive he is.
Can Aranel like try to sneak him some food? Or is that not allowed?
Okay. I would say, let's see. I would say that given that you are a burglar and you want to do some reverse burgling, yeah, go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
Alright, and then since I'm a burglar, does that give me a bonus die or no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Beautiful. Burgled successfully.
Very good. Yeah, as he kind of leans up against the bars, you kind of give him, take it.
Yeah.
You
Just
probably
like,
act like you're like grabbing his hand,
Yeah.
and the old trick, you grab his hand, and then all of a sudden there's something in his hand.
Yeah,
yeah,
and-
like I'll give him like the best like loaf of bread or ration or whatever I have on me.
and
Just,
you
like,
see,
pass it to him.
as you hand it to him, he grabs it and slides it up into his sleeve.
We'll get you out soon.
He gives you a nod and settles back down in the back of his cell.
All right.
So, are we satisfied?
He's alive and in no immediate danger of dying, so yes, I would say so.
Ah, of course. You know,
Do we deal with you once we have our prisoner, or would we take him directly to Gurnow? How would we facilitate that?
I do believe Gurnow wishes to see to Mr. John.
Very good.
Now, I will say, traveling is going to require some strength. Perhaps we could spare a bit more food for young Borlas, but unfortunately, the cost it's quite something to give these poor prisoners extra food. Costs are quite high.
Thrush is just gonna look at him, look down at the jeweled scepter, and just stare at him.
Okay, give me a insight roll real quick.
What? Insight? I don't know what that is. I'll roll it, but
And are you attempting to intimidate him?
he is attempting to intimidate him, yes. He has
Okay.
no insight in what the guy's actually thinking, though. It's just like,
Okay. Go ahead and give me an awe roll.
Thrush is good at those. Very
Yeah.
good at those.
Yeah, you give him just the
Dirtiest.
darkest of glares. And you see a shadow pass over his face, and he says, But I'm sure that we could more than spare a few extra rations for poor Borlas. Should Captain Garnow see it appropriate. We, children of Numenor, are very merciful and generous, of course.
He's just gonna decline his head in a kind of sarcastic but sort of a normal bow to him. Just
It goes over the guy's head.
He can't read the room.
and again, neither can Thrush.
Larry, just out of curiosity, will ask about the scepter. I'm like, so, did Garnow commission that for you, or did you find it here, or what? It's quite impressive for a man of your station.
Ah, the scepter. Yes, it is passed down for many ages, 4,000 years. Someone has held this office, and it has fell to me, and thus I hold the scepter.
I believe him.
Yeah, you believe him.
Oh, well. I see. That's quite fascinating. Well,
Yes.
I'm glad to see that you've kept a piece of Tharbad's history here.
Yes, not only Tharbad, but Numenor. Of course. It's you see, the blood of Numenor flows through these veins.
Ah, yes, I'm sure. He'll just kind of like dunk with his spear. Just to bring notice to it, but not really say anything. And it's not a threat either. Just like, good day.
Handsome weapon you have, if I do say so myself.
Ah, well, it is Numenorian in crafts. I'm sure you would have recognized that.
Yes, of course I would. Yes.
Right. Well, I'm sure we'll see you within a few days once we're ready to help out our poor friend here.
I look forward to it. He stamps his scepter on the ground once more with a loud clang. And as you pass by, he walks behind you, and one of the guards that is standing on station, he takes his scepter and he slaps him in the chest. He says, "Straighten up, chin up. Act like the Honorian soldier you are." And you all exit the new keep, as it is called, and you stand on the precipice of Garth Tower.
I so badly wanted to say, how do you do, fellow Numenorians? Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're on the precipice. We're past we went over the bridge.
So this area is here. Actually, I might be able to show you a bit of artwork. This is Garth Tauron. And the area that you are at is at the upper left-hand side, where you see the bridge going to the main fort.
Okay.
Got it.
That there is the new keep, where you met Borlas.
All right.
Okay. So, we're done with that for now. How is Orothel going to even remotely go along with this?
I mean, we did ask her. I mean, we brought her message. If she needs us to stay a few days to facilitate more messages, I'll volunteer myself. But I want to rescue this innocent man. He's from my city. I owe that much to my people.
I'm not saying we don't rescue him. I'm saying that if she insists that he is too important to turn over, what do we do?
I suppose we'll figure that part out once we talk with her.
I could always try to sneak him out.
Well, if you're subtle enough, he may never know it's us, although he'd probably suspect something.
I think every time we come back here, we are welcome a bit thinner.
Yes.
Well, and we do want to be careful this time, since we are saying we are representatives from Bree. Any slight we make on Gurnow, he might take out on Bree.
Also true. Well, let us make our journey back to the Seeing Stones. We have a message to deliver.
All right.
Although, if we need to, we can stop at the inn first. I'm sure Miragar wants more bread.
I'll find something on the way out. It's fine.
All right. Very good.
All right. So, you all leave Tharbad then?
We'll probably at least leave a summon with a guard or something saying that we are going to go meet the Bree wardens and get the prisoner.
And you see Tharnow, son of Gurnow, actually does escort you out. Actually, I have art of him, and it doesn't look anything like I described.
You'll cut it out.
It was dark.
You'll fix it in post.
That is Tharnow.
All right. Looks like a Viking. That's cool.
And you can see he is a grizzled man, scarred as it seems as though he has been in a fray or two. But he and another retinue of soldiers escort you out. And he's asked you before you exit through the portcullis, when can the captain expect you back?
How long is a round trip would the round trip from the stones be? Like 6 days?
Yeah, you'd guess.
Within a week. We have to go meet with the Mordens. They're a few days away, and then bring the prisoner back.
Very good. We wait your return.
I don't suppose that we'll have to pay again to drop off a prisoner.
I was just thinking the same thing.
I'll see to it that you're not troubled on your way back in.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And we're off.
All right. You pass along the gray plains just north of Tharbad and begin to enter back into what would normally be the farmlands which surround it. You're nearing the Appledore residence, actually, when eventually you come back to the Watchful Stones. And as you approach, you see Orothel still sitting and waiting, and John is now tied to a stump with a gag in his mouth.
I'm guessing he gave you some trouble. Apologies.
Beautiful. They're just beautiful.
That man has some tongue, and I had quite enough of it not long after you left.
Understandable. Well, our fair maiden here has your letter.
Ah, yes. She'll like dig it out of her pouch.
And she snatches it from you with great haste, and you can see she pores over it very quickly. And then she scratches her chin and says, an odd tale. But that she would not have sent this message unless she thought it important. Looks over at John and says, curse you, you wretch. If you had not stayed from your task, I would have had this information 4 weeks ago. Now this Dayor is far gone into lands where even a ranger would be hard-pressed to trail. But I must try. Several hunters may have better luck than one alone. And she addresses the rest of you. Will you help me?
If you agree to allow us to trade John for a Bree citizen, we'd gladly help you. But we very much have to, at least I and Miragar as people of Bree, we very much have to get our citizen home. We have to do right by our people. I'm sure you understand that.
Go ahead and give me a persuade roll with a bonus die.
All right. I am pretty good at that.
Oh, wow. Shoo!
Exactly what you needed.
Yep.
Yeah. She looks over at John and says, I've had quite enough of that wretch already. Send him off to Captain Gurnow and whatever fate awaits him.
Thank you. We will return within, well, I guess it'll be about 6 days. That's a round trip.
She grabs you by the arm and says, please, make haste. This is of dire importance.
I understand. Should we check for another message from your agent while we're there?
No, I think that this is of far too much importance.
All right.
Gwyneth has a keen eye for such things.
I see. Well, we shall make haste then. And thank you for allowing me to do right by my people.
One moment. The cobbler. We bring the cobbler out, correct? We bring him
Yes.
here. We meet her. It's a ways back to Bree. It's at least another week. Which direction are we heading to find this Dior?
So the letter stated that after he came back from the Swan Fleet, he gathered a boat and headed back up the Grey Flood, upstream, paddled against the current.
Somewhere out
Somewhere up into possibly in the troll shelter. Okay. So, but that's going to take even more time because we need to get him safely back to Bree and then come back. Is there somewhere you would like us to meet you that is not here so you can start your hunt?
Perhaps we could send word back to Bree. Have some men meet us here.
Because if we headed up to Bree, we could head past Weathertop on the Great East Road toward the last bridge, towards the Trollshaws. If you think this is the direction that this person would be going, I don't know.
And make your way down the River Horwell.
Yes. It just depends on if you have a place that you'd like us to meet to cut some of the time out of your trip.
If not, I can send him back with my horse. She can make it. And I know that because mechanically the Bree pony can find its way back to Bree or return to where I left it on its own. Yep. It never gets lost.
If you think that's wise, he would be camping by himself for more than a few days.
It's an option. If you have nowhere to meet us, I trust Moonbeam.
These lands are wild and dangerous. Many wolves in the South Downs, and we... near the angle, we don't know what is in those lands. If you think it wise, I would have you meet me where the Loudwater and the Horwell meet.
All right.
All right.
Then we will see you.
She nods. I shall investigate Swanfleet while you're gone.
Very good.
I shall meet you there as soon as I am done.
Very
That
good.
sounds good.
Come on, John. It's time for you to return home.
I think so too. Yes, perhaps we leave the gag in. I feel like I've had enough.
How long does he have that on?
How long have you been gone?
6 days, give or take.
6 days.
I'll slightly lower it and be like, now, please be polite, otherwise
Alright,
it will go back on.
It's about time you took that off. It's wearing a hole in my cheeks. And he spits on the ground in Orothel's direction. She shoots him a glare and fingers her
What
dagger.
did I just say about being polite?
She deserves no courtesy.
Well, she's been quite respectful to us so far, but I'm sure once we interact with her more, maybe we'll share your opinion. Or maybe not. We'll see. Safe travels, Orothel.
She gives you the bow, and you see she takes off to the southeast.
Alright, let's make haste. We have a lot of work to do. A lot more than we initially signed up for, but I'm trying to make, well, do right by everyone here.
All right. So, you all make your way back to Tharbad. You are unhindered as you pass through the portcullis. Tharnau meets you once again and escorts you all back to the Red Palace. And you can see as you pass through. Well, let me ask you this: are you just marching John through the streets?
I mean, I guess that's up to Gurnau and his staff how they want to do this.
You would guess. Do you ask them how they?
Probably. I'd be like, how would you like to facilitate his transfer?
You can see he just grabs him. Do you have him tied up? His hands bound?
Yeah, he's bound.
Okay, he just grabs him by his binds and throws him to the front of the group. He says, "Get moving." And you see he takes the blunt side of his axe and just hits him on the back. Go on. And you can tell there is little courtesy for John here in Tharbad.
I mean, it's going to be half-hearted, but Larry will at least say, it's like, I understand there's some bad blood here, but please try to keep him alive long enough so we can get our person back.
Oh, he'll survive that long.
Thank you.
And he marches through Tharbad, and you can tell that some of the guards, as they pass by, you see a couple patrols pass by, and they spit in his direction. You can tell that there was some animosity that's been spread around the patrols talking about John, and it seems as though he was relatively well known. And as you make your way back into the Red Palace, you are greeted once again with Gurnau and Lady Stock and Tom Brass standing along the side. You see Tharnau gives a little kick to John's back and sends him flying forward, and he collapses to his knees. Well, if it isn't John a-leaping. And he leans forward in his seat. It's real good to see you. I'm glad you came home. Is he, did you have him gagged?
I guess that would have been up to the guards.
Okay. If you're leaving it up to the guards, then we would say he would be currently gagged. And you hear him mutter. He growls a little bit. Tharnau, my boy, why don't you take his gag off? Let him speak for himself. See, Tharnau runs over and takes his gag off. And John says, well, it's good to see you there, Gurnau. Long time no see. I'm sure there's no bad blood between us. Well, of course not, John, of course not. We're just glad you're home. Now, Tom, if you'd see old John off to his new quarters. We'll be by shortly. Oh, and you all. And he addresses you.
Yes,
Malander is waiting over at the new keep with Borlas. He's ready to go.
Thank you. And I think we still owed him, 2 treasure?
That's correct.
All right. I will, and of course, in good faith.
Much appreciated.
It's not my business, but what do you plan to do with the man? Out of pure curiosity.
We'll have him face justice. In the same way that all those who cross me do.
I see. And Larry did promise he would at least try to speak on this guy's behalf. Just say, well, I hope you can find a use for him to pay back his debt to you. I understand that killing him would probably be easier, but perhaps he can find some way to work off his debt to you.
Aye, but you already paid his debt off, didn't you?
That's true, but just a thought.
You could think of it as punishment.
Give me a persuade roll, but take one of your die away. Lose a success die.
Well, before
Would
we
he
leave
get a
on
bonus
that,
since
Miragar would pipe up and be like, just because we paid his debt doesn't mean he can't still pay it back himself.
That is true.
You raise an interesting point.
So
Okay.
his support die, so just
So
be
lose
normal.
one and then gain whatever you get from,
So straight
from aid.
roll.
Yeah.
Yes, that is straight roll.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Well, there is plenty of stone that needs quarried down at the fort. Perhaps we'll find use of you there.
Yes.
Break your back once or twice over, and then maybe we'll throw you into the Grey Flood. And with that,
kind of turns to John and just kind of nods, like, I did my best.
you see John is incredibly sullen. I'll have everybody make me a shadow test for dread real quick.
Ah, man.
Oh.
That was the
That would be
or
Valor.
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 Ugh.
We do have Gandalf, and our points.
We
will
do
return.
have points. We do.
If you
I'll go ahead and
Now
use
is that do we get a bonus dice?
It
for
becomes
that? Like-
favored.
It makes it favored, yeah.
oh, okay.
So we just do the feat die? Yeah?
Yeah, and then we
Oh.
just have to remember to subtract the.
Yeah, are we all pretty much doing that? Is that the safe
Yeah.
bet for the
Oh,
moment?
no.
Okay.
Nope.
So we
But-
click on the feet die favored. Is that what it is?
Mother.
Correct.
Well, the good news is
Okay,
because
that's
it's favored, the Eyes of Sauron don't count, so it was
Yep.
still probably
Yes,
worth
that's
doing.
Okay, so you
True,
all
true.
went ahead and used a fellowship point, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So we're
Okay.
down
Subtracting.
down 5-9 now. Yep.
Okay, so
Rush is fine. He doesn't give a shit about this
In fact, I got a Tengwar rune.
guy. yeah.
I feel pretty good about this.
Aranel, Larry, and Miragar, you all gain 1 shadow point as you realize that while this man wasn't necessarily beyond redemption, his punishment will still be harsh, as Gurnau is a merciless leader.
Yes. Larry still feels good that he did keep his promise. He spoke on his behalf. So, if nothing else, he's done his part. Well, will your men be escorting us, or shall we make our own way?
Ah, yes. Tharnau! See him to the keep. You see Tharnau gives him a nod. And a retinue of soldiers once again accompanies you all and escorts you back to the keep.
Well, Larry will just make a courtesy roll at the end just to thank him for his time. Thank you for your time and your hospitality, Captain. I understand the first time we met was not quite so warm, but hopefully, as we've shown as members of Bree, that we can perhaps do business again in the future.
Aye, I'll take that into account next time you're around.
Thank you.
You'll always find good drink here in my court.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Good day.
He gives you a nod, and Tom lifts John up by his binds, to which John winces and pushes him forward off to a side door. And you all are escorted back to the new keep, where Valendor is currently awaiting you with a bound Borlas in tow.
Slightly better fed.
You can tell that, yeah, actually, he is he doesn't look quite as sullen. He stands up straighter, not totally straight, but he stands up straighter. You can tell that he looks to have a little bit more strength about him. but his feet are still bare. And it seems as though the transaction went without a hitch.
Yes.
Here's your man.
Are his binds just rope or metal or what?
They are rope.
All right. Larry's going to cut out his dagger and immediately cut open his binds then.
You see Borlas grabs his wrists and rubs them, and you can see that they were pretty tight, as you can see that there are marks on his wrist.
Miragar, why don't you look him over, make sure he's good for travel.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Miragar will do it once over. I know that you're a cobbler, but maybe we should buy you boots or something before we leave. I don't know if we have time for you to make them. He tries to make a really bad joke.
You see, he gives you a little grin where he's missing a few teeth.
If nothing else, we can bind his feet and let him ride the horse.
Okay. Yeah,
Great
definitely.
success.
You can tell that he is strong enough to probably travel over easy terrain. So you
like
guess
the roads.
you guess that so long as you all don't leave the greenway, he's probably all right.
All right. Our apologies, we went back as fast as we could, but you're free now.
I'm glad to be away from those ghosts.
Ghosts?
At least that's what they say in
I
fort. Anyway, please, I'm just excited. I'm excited to get out of here.
Of course. Larry's gonna give him an hearten just to get his spirits up a little bit, and probably say it's like, well, you'll be happy to know that Mr. Prithwindle himself asked us to rescue you, so clearly you've made quite the impression on the citizenry of Bree.
And you see his eyebrows raise, and he smiles a little bit. And he says, I've been longing to get back to the workshop. I've got an order to fulfill when we get back.
It's been a few months, but I'm sure they'll be happy to know you're back and ready to fulfill it.
Of course. Now,
let's get you some boots.
Indeed.
And maybe some lunch while we're at it. Miragar looks a little,
A little peckish.
Yeah.
Well, Miragar, you do have an inn with the tavern keeper here, so why not?
True, he's always gonna have a hot loaf for me.
That's right.
You know, it's been quite some time since I've had fish.
Fair enough.
Thrush is trying his best to not look incredibly impatient. He's trying so hard.
Whereas Aranel is the image of patience. She's like, yep.
Just every 2 minutes.
Do we notice Thrush behaving like this?
Every 2 minutes, he's just kind of looking back towards his front gates of the town.
I would say if you're trying to hide it, maybe a riddle roll from you, Thrush.
And Miragar will ask one of the guards that's probably outside the keep. So he'll be like, "Where's the best fish pies in town?"
Look at it's all 2s and 1s. I'm really good. I'm the best.
The best fish pies in town. Let's just see if I have that information.
Oh, there was a 4 in there.
Well, if you keep talking slowly, you know.
Slower you talk.
Yes.
All right.
The more time you have to find one.
Fish.
Miragar will look to you guys and say, "Well, why don't you find a cobbler and we'll meet at the front gate?"
There we go.
All right.
Oh, you mean a different cobbler?
Yeah, one that has boots to sell.
Yes.
Come on, Thrush.
Yes,
I
Aranel,
know
go with
Blair.
Thrush. I'm
I
sure.
tried to make a joke. It didn't work well. I don't think.
I already made that joke earlier.
That's where
That's
I got
true.
it from, then, evidently.
That's where I learned it from. It's like, yes, Aranel. I'm sure with your keen senses, you'll be able to find boots for our men in no time at all.
Of course.
And I'll make sure Miragar doesn't eat too much.
And is Larry's pony with us, or is the pony outside of town?
It's probably in the stable, right?
Yeah, we'll say that. Well, we could say that. I mean, there's horses that walk the town. There's not really any rules against it, nor are the streets too narrow for it. So
that's true. I didn't see any rules about horses on the list, so Aranel will have to take it up with himself.
Yeah, but you are going to have to pay a street manure tax.
That's what I was waiting for.
Yep.
Was the poop tax?
Like,
Is there a
here
poop
on
map
official diplomatic business? I think it's probably been waived.
Yeah, we'll say that it was. You have diplomatic immunity.
Yes,
we got our parking verified by Gurnell before we left.
Yeah, the parking was validated by Gurnell. No, it was validated by the guy with the staff. That's what it's for.
Ah, yes.
He just punches a hole through a ticket or something with the bottom.
Oh, no.
All right.
Perhaps Borlas can sit on one of the finest Bree ponies we've got.
Yes, Moonbeam is quite a good girl. I'm sure she would be happy to have someone.
Take a load off.
She neighs and whinnies at the thought of having someone ride her once more. It seems as though it's been a little while.
You probably just kind of brush her mane or whatever. Like, we'll be back, girl. Take good care of the man.
Me.
These sound effects brought to you by Moss.
Yes.
All right. So you all are going in search of fish pies and boots?
Yep.
Basically.
Okay.
Very
Easily.
weird combination.
Yeah, easily enough. I would say
in a wonderful metropolitan place like Tharbad, you can find anything you need.
Yeah, no kidding. I would say. Yeah, we'll just say that you find it. Yeah, because there's nothing in here that says that there's a good place for fish pies, and I don't have a random generator pulled up.
Just roll the D10,000 chaos chart.
Yeah. You could ask Jan the Frog if she knows, because she seems to deal a lot with fish.
I was curious if that was who was going to be selling the fish pies that I would then be buying.
Why not, right?
Just go down to the bank and see if you can spot the frog.
Yeah.
Remember, she's upgraded. She's a bullfrog now.
If you approach Jan, she comes up to you. She says, "Pies? Oh, you just turn them over a spit. That's the best fish you'll ever eat."
Yeah, you're right. But we're traveling, and roasted fish like that's sometimes hard to travel with,
Roast it long enough, it'll dry it out. It'll last weeks.
We don't have that much time, unfortunately. But thank you, Jan.
Fair enough. More for me.
All right, Miragar, where to now? There must be a place.
He'll sniff the air a little bit.
Is there a skill for Hobbit food senses?
I would say Hobbit food senses. I would say probably an explore roll or maybe an awareness roll to see.
Explore, 'cause it's
feel like-
favored. That makes sense.
Does
Yeah, I
it
feel like you should get a bonus die for being a
Oh,
Hobbit.
Gandalf!
Racial trait.
Okay,
Okay,
never
never
mind.
mind. Doesn't matter. A 10
right.
and a Gandalf.
All right.
Look at you maxing it out.
Miragar's about to be like the old cartoons where
Just-
the smell literally turns into a hand that picks him up and just
All right. So you come across a small establishment called the Bell and Beach, and you can smell the smell of smelly smells,
That smells
which
smelly.
would indicate fish pies being cooked within.
Yeah, I'll go be like, How many fish pies do you have available for right now?
You see that the bartender is an older female. She looks at you and says, "Oh, I just pulled about a dozen out of the oven."
I'll take them all.
Right-o. And you see she slowly walks back with tiny, tiny little steps, scooting her feet across the ground. You can hear her shoes scrape across the wood as she walks. But about a minute later, she comes back, and she's got a dozen pies on a plate or on a tray and sets them forward. And I'd say, it's well within your affordability range.
Yeah. Miragar tips her a little bit and says, "Thank you."
Thank you. I guess no one else gets pies today, but that's all right.
Well, if they taste as good as they smell, then, well, everybody else will be missing out, but my stomach will be happy.
Let's hope so.
And that should be a gift in itself. The happy stomach of a hobbit should be what everybody thrives to as he walks away with his little knapsack of fish pies.
You see she slowly nods, and you can see a disinterested look on her face.
Any fan art of Miragar with a knapsack full of
pies.
pies that is like the same size as him?
Do you have like a little bindle over your back full of?
Yeah, I did that the first time we went on an adventure, and every time we leave town, I fill my little bindle sack full of whatever foods.
All right.
God, please do leave some for Borlas. He has been a prisoner for a few months.
I'm not gonna eat all 12 pies. It's 2 for each of us.
Very good.
And you see Borlas basically floats on air, following the scent like a cartoon. Fish pies. I've not smelt such divine smell in quite some time.
Well, I haven't had the ones from here yet, so we'll see if they hold up to the ones we had in Landauer.
Well, whenever you spend some time in Tarthgauron, it's hard to tell the difference between bread and stone. Anything is better than what swill they would give us down there.
Of course.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. He definitely hands over a pie at that moment.
And you see he immediately dives into it and makes a mess. You see crumbs and bits of fish go all down his beard. You see he goes like this, trying to get all of the food out, and looks at his hands and licks his fingers.
Ugh.
And goes at it again.
Miragar hands him a napkin or a handkerchief. Says, "You can keep that one."
He takes it and throws it over his shoulder. Says, "Waste not." All right.
I mean, fair point.
I'll let it slide. The man's been in prison for 8 months.
All right, and we can say that you all are able to find him at least somewhat suitable boots. They're definitely not of the finest quality, and you can tell as he looks at them, you can tell he's picking them apart, as his craftsman's eye has not yet gone away. But he slips them on, and his feet are no longer bare, and you are ready to go.
I wonder, as a cobbler, has he noticed that he is a hobbit that wears boots around?
You would guess that he is probably relatively ignorant of the ways of many hobbits.
Fair enough.
And probably has been so preoccupied with what's going on, he perhaps hasn't even noticed.
Fair enough.
Boots.
I was just curious.
Because if I were to answer you in the affirmative, I would have to retcon everything that we've just done.
Cut that out.
All right. And with that, you all are ready to go. Is there anything you all would like to do while you are still in Tharbad?
Like
I think
you,
if we do
yes.
anything else...
I do know.
I was going to say, I think if we do anything else, Thrush is going to drag us all out of town by our ears.
No, it would be easy. I would just grab the bag of fish pies and just come on.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, fetch.
But no.
Hold it up here. Come on.
Cheap trick.
Miragar's like, well, let's see if I guard you next fight.
Exactly.
Oh no.
Just hit him in the shin with my buckler.
Making our way back home.
All right, so you all set back out from Tharbad, and with that, we are going to take a quick break, and
Sounds
we'll
good.
be right back.
Alrighty.
Welcome, tavern goers, and thank you for listening to this Tales from the Dragon's Tavern production. I am JJ, and I just wanted to ask that if you are enjoying our content, that you go subscribe to our Patreon, Tales from the Dragon's Tavern, where we are making it our one-stop shop for all of the content we plan to produce. As we grow and we are able to give you more content, we will probably update our memberships, but for now, it'll be free. And it'll give you access to all our social medias, our Discord channel, and all of those places that you can get our content, but we're going to make sure it's all in one spot for you as well. Cheers, and I hope you enjoy Tales from the Dragon's Tavern.
And we are back as our company is setting forth from Tharbad back to Bree, and we are going to see just how this journey continues. So,
All right, Thrush, if it takes us too longer to get back, it's on you now.
So I think what I would say is, given that you have traveled this road a number of times now, I would say any travel rolls you have, at least during this part, back to Bree, we'll just say that those are favored for now.
Nice.
Okay.
Sweet.
And
First
I'm
we see-
already technically favored, so I don't know if it doesn't really do
Oh,
it.
you're already favored? Okay,
Yep.
then add another success die then.
Oh, okay. All right, then. To be clear, I wasn't arguing for it, but I'll take it.
Okay, so now if we get one of the misfortunes or whatever that makes us take an extra day,
All-
it's really on you.
Fours. All fours. I can't believe it.
Weird.
That's so
Still a
crazy.
Success.
Yeah, it's a good roll, but okay. So
Four.
Fish pie slowed us down.
yeah, and you can tell that Borlas, as he travels, he kind of takes turns riding, and sometimes he's not used to riding, so he gets a little sore, so he prefers to walk, and that slows you down just a little bit. But travel for 3 days, and let's bring up our journey events table. You are
Say
in
we did.
a wildland. Ah!
Ooh.
Ooh, okay.
Hunter shortcut.
All right.
All right.
Oh.
So, would the hunter please give me a hunting roll?
You got it.
Oh, no!
Oh no. Okay.
rude.
As you all are traveling, you come across about 3 days out. So you're out kind of in the middle of the plains here. How do we want to do this here?
A Mumakil shows up.
You are out in the midst of the plains here, and oh yeah, is that a War of the Rohirrim reference? Good lord, that was the most out of place thing I've probably, well, not ever seen, but it's close. Anywho, so as you all are traveling, you make it about 3 days down the road. And you come across what looks to be some of the road is washed out, and you see that it is currently flooding around with all the rain that has come down. You see the water is washing down from the South Downs and making its way south towards the Grey Flood. And it has washed out some of the road, and there is currently a relatively strong stream which is running across the road. Now, Mr. Hunter, Larry, you kind of make your way around, seeing if maybe there is a way around this stream, or maybe an easier way to cross it. as it does seem to be probably waist high. Unfortunately, with the width of whatever this flash flood and the depth of it, you are unable to find a way around. So, unfortunately, you all will suffer 1 point of fatigue.
Ugh.
But that is one of the better options that is available to you, as far as the journey events are concerned.
Yeah.
Could Aranel offer a scan roll to see if she can find a way to...
I mean, you can try. It wouldn't necessarily affect the outcome.
That's fair, but...
But yeah, you're more than welcome to. Scan roll? Okay. So we'll say that you exit the road just a couple of 100 yards, and you're able to spy with your elvish eyes. It looks like there is what looks to be the remnants of a tree just underwater. It's always trees.
Yep.
And you figure that with sure footing, you all would be able to make it across without having any of your belongings wash away or people wash away down the
The second one's very important.
I'm assuming the horse would be fine.
Yeah, the horse. Yeah.
It's bigger than us, I hope so.
Borlas takes the horse.
Yep.
Maybe throw Miragar up there too.
On the other horse.
Oh yeah, we have 2 horses, don't we?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
as you all cross the stream, Borlas's feet dip into the water, and you see he winces. And he says, when I was in the prison, the lower levels would flood from time to time, so luckily I was able to bottom my way out of the lower levels, at least when it rained. That's when I promised Valandor that I would make him a pair of boots in exchange for better accommodations when it rained.
I see. Well, I'm sorry that the weather's not behaving well, but we're trying our best to get you home.
And it's just good to be on the road.
Of course.
All right, and you all are getting prolonged rests along the way as well. If you have any use for those, you can go ahead and take those.
I'll recover a point of hope.
Aranel's at 6 out of 10. So
I'm at 8 out of 11, so I'm good. But I'll hit the rest. I don't think there's any reason to, but
Okay.
we'll just feel happy having gotten a rest.
I'll take 2 if that's alright.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sweet.
All right. So, go ahead and, Mr. Guide, give me another travel roll.
Okay. With the extra bonus die, since we're on the road. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
On the road again.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Hey, look, a 6.
Hey, I got something besides 4s. Yay! At least
Very
it wasn't
good.
1s and 2s. I'm just happy it's not 1s and 2s.
So, you travel another 4 days, but along the way, actually, you get about a day out, and there, along the road, you see the Appledore residence. Is this the place you wanted to stop, or did you want to keep on going?
I think originally we wanted to stop, but now that we're on a time crunch, we should probably not.
I bet Thrush would not even tell us they're there because he just wants us to go.
Just, hey, look back there. We passed the apple doors a couple days ago.
Yeah,
What?
exactly.
I mean, he looks to make sure that there's smoke from the chimney, and that's about it.
You can see, as you pass by, you can see smoke coming out of the chimney. And you can also see that Carl is outside currently picking apples.
Okay, good. Well, at least that means that they're safe and fine. All right.
And you make it to the crossroads between the road to Sarn Ford and northward to Bree. And we're going to go ahead and roll another event. Oh boy, another mishap. Give me a hunting roll, please.
All right. You know what? I'm going to throw some hope on this one since I recovered some. Yes.
Oh,
There you go.
All right, great success. Very good. Okay. We'll say that as you're traveling down the road, Larry, you spot some tracks.
All right.
And with your hunting roll, you kneel down and you look at them, and you can tell that these are wolf tracks.
Okay.
And just kind of examining them, you can tell that they are in the area. It looks as though they've moved southwards from the South Downs.
Okay.
But you examine the patterns, and you can kind of deduce where you think they might be, and therefore you are able to successfully avoid them, whether it be going down the road to Sarn Ford for a little ways and then crossing over back to the road, back to the Greenway. But you are able to avoid that. However, during that whole event, you do gain another 2 points of fatigue.
ugh.
That's a lot.
And that's all of us, right?
Correct, yeah. And with that, I would have Mr. Guide give me yet another travel roll, please.
It's a good thing the horse has a vigor of 4, so I'll be able to get some of that fatigue back.
True. Oof, barely. Look at all those ones this time. Good thing I'm favored.
Favored. Yep.
Okay. And as you make your way toward the South Downs and the Barrow Downs, you get just in between the two on the Greenway. You can hear wolves howling to the east, and there is just a shadow upon you to the west. It bears down on your spirit. Let me go ahead and roll another event.
If it's me again, I'm taking those last 2 fellowship points.
Scouting a shortcut.
Nice.
All right. So, Scout, I would have you give me an explore roll, please.
Oh no. Oh.
Damn.
Okay.
That's rough.
That's okay. Well, so as you are moving about, we'll say that there's just this unease about you, about being in this area. And you think perhaps it'd be better to move eastward just a tad into the South Downs to avoid the Barrow Downs. And maybe that might lift your spirits enough to help you travel at a faster pace. But unfortunately, it seems as though any route that you find is full of crags and harsh terrains. Yeah, unfortunately, you're unable to find a shorter path, and as a result, you all will gain another fatigue point.
Yeah.
Aranel is almost to the point of being wary.
Yeah.
I've got, let's see, what is it, 3 more
Yeah.
that I can put on my load.
Yeah.
All right.
Stupid hunting bow.
And with that, you all are close enough. You will make it back to Bree without any further events. And as you come back to Bree, your spirits are lifted as the Barrow Downs and the South Downs are left behind you. The sun comes out once more and lifts your spirits, and Borlas is elated as he looks upon his home once more. You can see he actually gets down off of Moonbeam and looks at all of you and stands there in front of you before the gates of Bree and thanks you wholeheartedly. I can't thank you enough for everything that you've done. It means ever so much to me.
Well, Bree is Miragar and I's home. It was a small kindness to give back to the place that's done so much for us.
Indeed. Now, I've got a pair of yellow boots I need to be making.
Oh, very good.
Let's rest first.
Yes, perhaps rest a bit, and if there's anyone waiting for you back home, perhaps see them.
Yes. I think Hilda will be happy to see me.
Yes.
All
Very
right. And he makes his way into Bree. Do you all follow for a rest?
What
I would probably at least find Prithia Wendell just to let him know, and then let him know that we're going to be on our way.
I see the exchange went well.
Yes.
Very good. Very good.
I see a tail wagging next to Michaela.
You've
Who's a
done
happy dog.
Yeah, he's starting to goom because he wants to go somewhere.
Let it be known that you've done yet another great service for the town of Bree. And, you are making quite the name for yourselves.
Oh, I'm just doing right by my family and by the people of Bree.
Indeed. Well, where will you be off to next? Are you going to stay a while, or?
Perhaps a night at most, but we... on our travels found someone else in need of our aid, so we shall be making our way.
Indeed. Okay. Well, please take advantage of everything that we have to offer. I know that you have a residence here, but as a thanks, I've instructed Archibald over at the Prancing Pony to put everything on my tab.
Very good.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Miragar's like,
Yeah, I'm looking at Miragar like...
He's like, everything.
Well, perhaps we shall at least have a meal before we travel. Thank you.
Yes. All right. And you all have a fantastic meal over at the Prancing Pony.
The best part about it is that it's free.
And it is free. It is free.
It does taste better when it's free.
And Borlas actually decides to join you during your meal. And you see a few people come up to him as he's sitting with you and just grab his shoulder and shake it. You say, "Welcome back."
Did he happen to shave on the trip back, or has he still got his crazy beard?
Let's see if he's had the time. The 6? No, he still got it. It doesn't seem. It seems as though his hair is probably the last thing on his mind at this moment.
Fair enough. Just curious. It's like, do people even recognize him? I guess they do.
Yeah. But you can see that he is taking it a little bit slower as he eats. He's not getting quite as much caught in his beard. He's not licking his fingers and being all
he's civilized,
ravenous. It seems as though he's the idea of being a part of society has returned to him slowly, but it is coming back to him.
Very good.
I'm picturing he's just like the Forrest Gump version after he ran across the country multiple times. It's like you still know it's Forrest Gump, but he just looks a little crazy. It's fine.
Now, maybe I'm overstepping here, but would seeing a job well done like this perhaps give some hope to our hearts?
I would say that yes, you can go ahead and take back one. You can go ahead and take back one hope.
Hooray!
Yay!
There's hope in the world again. We saved one man.
Well, that and elves recover hope back so slowly.
And we saw justice done with John Alip. Oh, I'm sorry to bring that up to all of you.
We all get another point of shadow.
Oh,
No, I can't afford it.
just bringing stuff up.
Thrush goes to -1
Did we-
shadow though, because he enjoys that.
Did we save one man and put one in torture and possibly death? I guess we won't know.
Fair trade.
Oh no, yeah,
Well, at least
we're
we
pretty
saved
sure.
the one that wasn't actually a criminal.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Larry kept his promise. He tried to speak up on the man's behalf. That's all I could do.
Yeah, you didn't instantly get him beheaded, so that's good.
Yeah, I'd probably give him a few months at best, at least, so, take it.
Okay. So, is there anything else that you all would like to do while you're still in Bree?
Maybe
I'm
just...
assuming we would just crash at Larry's house.
Yeah, probably
Yeah,
visit
Michaela.
Skildell, let her know that we're back, but we will be traveling again, unfortunately.
Yep.
Oh,
Refill our packs with rations and whatnot.
how long are you going to be gone?
I kind of turned to Thrush. I'm like, to be honest, I really don't know. We're helping one of Thrush's kin, though, so it's very important.
Oh. All right. Well, it seems like you've been gone for so long already.
I know.
Well,
You see, I'm like looking back at Silda and then at Thrush. Like, I don't
It's
want
going to be at least a few weeks. It could be less if we get lucky.
oh.
Yeah.
Well,
But at least you'll have him
11
back for the beginning of, well, the
Place.
end of spring and beginning of summer.
Oh. Okay. Well, please do be safe.
Of course.
I know it's dangerous out there. I've been reading about things out there,
We'll be quite all right.
and the people in town have been talking about wolves and orcs and things like that.
Yeah.
Strangers.
I'm sure we'll be quite fine. After all, you did see us fight some trolls.
And she has a new
That's
bow.
True.
Yes, and Aranel did get a new bow.
I have yet
Oh.
to test it.
Can I
but-
see it?
Of course. She'll pull it off her back.
Wow! Look at that.
It's supposed to be quite nice, but
I feel like at least stopping to see the little girl is enough that Thrush will be like, okay, fine, this is fair. This is a reasonable stop.
What?
His
Have
heart grew by 3 sizes that day.
Hmm. Yeah, but us being out there keeps her safe. So he's like, it's like
Well, we
being
have
away
friends
from
that-
all these people we love is what keeps them safe.
Dag nabbit Thrush.
All right. So, is there anything else that you all would like to do while you're in Bree?
Nothing that I need to do. Just reminder mechanically, one would, I guess it'd be once we arrive at Orothel would be when I could look about using the vigor of my mount to reduce my fatigue. So I get 4 guaranteed off because of my mount. And,
rude.
well, I invested.
No, the cobbler gets it. You don't get nothing.
So we can make travel rolls.
Correct.
So we
Oh my god.
we all do travel rolls, or is it?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a personal travel roll. Yeah.
Holy crap.
Wow.
I got a Gandalf rune and 2 Tangwar runes.
That's incredible.
Rude.
And then it's just one, right? For
Oh,
a plane
man.
success, it's just one fatigue.
Correct.
Travel's one of my worst things.
Hey, I got a Gandalf rune. Let's go. It doesn't matter that I
And
suck at travel.
another success, though, as well.
Damn it.
All right. What's your fatigue at, Aranel?
An 8?
All right. Actually, I guess I could do. Let's see.
So I guess.
Fatigue. Ooh. All right. Well, the good news is everybody's at full health, so there's that.
Alrighty. Alright, so I lose 4 from my mount, and I guess it'd be, 2 from the roll?
Yes.
Alright, cool. I'm down to 2
Wait.
fatigue from 8. I'll take it.
Yeah.
So since I failed, I don't take anything off, do I?
Correct. Yeah.
Damn it.
We have to get Aranel a horse. Well, I mean, if we brought both horses, we could say mechanically Aranel was using the old horse, which is only like a vigor of 1, but it's something.
Yeah. Yeah, because you didn't necessarily give it to anybody in particular.
Yeah.
So
Just-
whoever, I would say whoever wants it for this one, can use Aura. Or not, yeah, Aura.
Yeah, Ara.
You know what? I'll freaking take it, because 8 is
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
She had a vigor rating of 1.
Yeah.
Hey, it's better than nothing,
And I want to make sure that this is right, because I got a success. The Gandalf rune doesn't matter. I got a success, but I got 2 Tangwar runes, so that means I took off 3, right?
3.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, good. All right. I was correct then.
All right. It's been a little while since we've had to do that, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Bree Pony was the best investment I've ever made.
you all, your next goal, as you set out, Orothel had said she would meet you where the Loudwater and the Horwell join. So, my question to you is, what is your planned route?
I'm thinking we're going to head at least to get up near Weathertop, if not past Weathertop slightly, and then cut down across, because time is of the essence, and going up to the last bridge and going across and doing all that is but we don't want to go right through the middle of the South Downs.
Right. Okay.
So it probably 2 days, because if that's or two travel stretches, so that's 3, that would be about 6 somewhere out in this area.
Gotcha.
Like
And
3.5
cut down.
days.
Yeah, somewhere south of Weathertop, we'd start veering southeast.
Yeah.
Between Weathertop and the family we just saved.
Yup,
So, like right here, and
somewhere
then
around in there. Yeah,
trekking your way down south this way.
yup.
Okay. Sounds good. And as our company calculates their route to how they're going to get to the angle, as it is called, we are going to go ahead and end tonight's session.